Kia ora everybody, welcome back. Today I've got a couple of PC upgrades that I need to get done, so let's get into it. Before we begin, I did some benchmarking so that we've got some comparative results for once all the mods are done. For this, I used Cinebench and Haven. The upgrades include an H6 flow case, the NZXT water cooler, some Be Quiet fans all the way around, and the accessories required to make it all work. Now that the benchmarking is all done, let's unplug everything, take it off the desk and chuck it on the workbench ready for strip down and fitment of all the new parts. Just like every other gamer, I started off on console for many years, eventually giving in to my cousin and other friends who convinced me that PC was the way to go. After making the jump, I've never looked back. It's been great with the significant performance gains, but unfortunately the price has also been proportionate to the gains. My first PC was actually handed to me from an old colleague who had just finished upgrading his PC and needed to get rid of his old hardware. I eventually put it together and started gaming, but quickly found the limitations of that hardware. Less than a year later, I bought a second-hand PC for around $300. This performed really well considering what I paid for it, and it lasted about a year before games started getting larger and demanding more from the hardware. This has sent me on an upgrade path, which has led me to replace every component other than what's being fitted today. Here we have the motherboard, graphics card, power supply, and the old air cooler that I'm replacing. For my case, I selected the NZXT H6 Flow both for aesthetic reasons and engineering characteristics that set it apart from other fishbowl cases on the market at the moment. Here I'm removing the old intake fans to make way for the new replacements. I plan to use them later for a project I have teed up with my brother-in-law. For my fans, I've decided to go with Be Quiet's light wings. The build quality is top notch and the aesthetics are sophisticated with a touch of elegance in the RGB fitted. Operation is whisper quiet, and I'm pretty sure they're no longer supplied in New Zealand. With the front and bottom intake fans fitted, it's time to move on to the all-in-one water-cool system. With the new fans fitted, she's starting to look the part. With that out of the way, it's time to start building the new case back up with the components that we removed earlier. Now, I was once told by a good friend of mine, Matt, that building a PC is like adult Lego. Parts generally only fit one way, but there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it, and it's knowing the difference between the two that will determine the outcome. Now that I've installed the power supply back in, the GPU's next, and then it's time to start plugging everything back together in the new case. Covers back on, and it's time to plug in power and see what she looks like. Oh, after months of planning and collecting parts, I'm pretty happy with how she's come out. Big shout out to Matt at Perfect PC for fixing my mistakes right from day one. Mahalo togo.